what Larry was able to do on and off the court. It defied description.
Hey guys, this is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Hey and good day, what's good? My name is Sean David and I welcome you back to the Basketball Time Machine. I hope you're ready for your weekly dose of old school NBA basketball. In today's episode, I want to take a look at 10 sensational Larry Bird moments that we old school fans will never ever forget. But before we dive into that, let's take a quick look at the sponsor of today's video. Today's episode is brought to you by Magic Spoon Grain-Free Cereal. Since I am a kid of the 1980s, I grew up with my weekly dose of Saturday morning cartoons and naturally my cereals. But getting older and having to watch my diet, I can't just eat any cereals. And that's why Magic Spoon is so great. All the taste of delicious cereals, but healthy. Magic Spoon cereals have 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving, and only 140 calories per serving. They're also gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and of course low-carb. My favorite flavor is peanut butter, but you can also go with cocoa, fruity, and frosted. Any of them are just delicious. Click on the link in the description box below and use my promo code SeanDavid at the checkout, or go to magicspoon.com/SeanDavid for $5 off your variety pack today. Now, the first moment that I want to take a look at is probably a moment that only hardcore fans remember, but that is inked into our brain. Larry Bird was never a player that was known for sensational dunks, but yeah, every once in a while he had a great one. Let's take a look.
For traveling, Irving missing the shot.
Oh wow! I'll tell you, the defense is extreme. They are really working.
Oh boy! Whoa! Take that, Larry Bird!
In your face, as they say.
And he got fouled. This is a honey. Watch it.
Good exchange between Gerald and Bird here. He brings it up.
And the next play that we can't forget is a Larry Bird three-pointer against Clyde Drexler and the Portland Trailblazers. Let's take a look.
DJ again to make the inbound pass. The double team and Bird. Larry fake. Fall away. Hits it! All right! Unbelievable.
Bird gets out as far as he can go. Hits a fake, try and draw the foul, one dribble, the fall away, Hail Mary prayer, please go in shot. And there it is, folks.
Bird to Vincent, to Bird. Over the backboard! Oh!
America's game. It's fantastic.
Now we know that Larry Bird was known for incredible moments, but that he played an entire game or almost entire game with his left hand is just sensational, outlandish, and crazy. But yes, he did it.
What about your thoughts on tonight's matchup? Another lineup change by the coach. He's installed Jerome Kersey in the starting lineup.
Well, he's put a tiger in the tank. He feels that Jerome Kersey is going to give him some aggressiveness, particularly against Larry Bird.
Jerome Kersey's guarding Larry. I think his first 8 or 10 points were left-handed. And at that point, mchale was still coming off the bench, and so we score. Larry scores his 6th point on some kind of left-handed shot.
Bird against Kersey. Oh, what a basketball player that
And mchale goes, "Hey Jerome, wait till he starts shooting right-handed."
Change for Bird, another three-point try.
Well, left-handed is one thing, but when the game got close, I had to go back to the right one. I think it went right down the wire, and we might have won by 1 point.
Beat you right there. You got to keep them under control. They don't.
And the Blazers have timeout with 3 seconds.
You know, we always talk about that Larry Bird was this not athletic guy who could not jump and so on, but every once in a while he had an incredible move that he basically got out of his suitcase. So let's take a look at this incredible play.
Early in the final period, the tenacious Rockets clung to a 3-point lead. Then this, an absolutely breathtaking flying follow-up of his own missed 20-footer by who else? Larry Bird.
Larry Bird. Follows his own shot.
Red Auerbach called this the greatest play I've ever seen.
I want the ball because I'm supposed to produce in situations
Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. But I want the ball in a crucial situation.
Now the next moment is probably one of my all-time favorite stories of all time. Not only Larry Bird stories, but NBA stories in general. Against the Atlanta Hawks, his 60-point game. Let's take a look.
But when you played against somebody, do you remember? Well, you had the Bird night.
I had the Bird night. Yeah, that was a tough night, man. The biggest argument that night is, well, you only scored 6 on me.
But nobody was guarding Bird, were they?
Well, we were trying.
You were trying to.
No, but when a guy is literally coming up the court, calling his shots, and Bird talked a lot of trash.
And that's in New Orleans.
That's in New Orleans. In that game, we're on the free throw line. And he literally says, left side over across the 3, and you're listening to him. That's a tough feeling.
But okay, so you guys got Antoine Carr and Cliff Levingston got fined by Fratello, I think,
and Eddie Johnson for celebrating
Bird.
Yeah, it was the best film session. Every time when I see Mike, we still laugh.
God,
it was the greatest film session ever, because back then you didn't have, you watched the real game and just went, with a video, and Mike rewound the celebration 20 times. He just kept, not the shot, he just kept rewinding it, showing the guys, you remember they're giving each other high five.
And then somebody falls off the bench.
Yeah,
too.
That was Eddie Johnson.
Yeah.
Eddie Johnson falls off the bench in laughter, and Antoine Carr and Cliff gives each other high five. And our film session was 20 minutes of that. So it
wasn't somebody not playing good defense on Bird. It was you guys celebrating Larry Bird.
And Fratello wouldn't let it go. It just kept rewinding. And it was.
I think Bird went by the bench one time too.
He fell in the bench.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, and he called that one. That was the one where he fell in it. He literally said, "Off the glass into the trainer." And, and so it was a bad night.
And the next incredible moment that we won't forget is the steal against the Detroit Pistons, which shows how clutch this guy was.
I'll never forget, everything just started, it went in slow motion. Jess Kersey is standing there, I'm looking at him, and we froze, we celebrating, and Jess Kersey starts to count, because he's standing there and he has the 1 count. So I run over, we look at the bench, no timeout, nothing. So I run over and I grab the ball. And this is probably one of the most incredible plays that's ever happened against me and that probably I've ever witnessed. From an athletic standpoint, 2 people being in sync and Bird just playing every second. And that's what the Celtics taught us, to play every second. And if you go back and you watch the play, that dude is on his toes. The baseline is right up under his toes. And in my mind, he must have stood there for about 5 seconds because everything was going in slow motion in my mind, right? And it's like, I'm like, and then it's a strange moment. I'm like, damn, how you doing that?
And the last 2 moments are Larry Bird fights against Dr. J and Bill Embiid. Unfortunately, I can't show the entire video because YouTube is blocking the videos, but you will get the idea. Let's have a look.
They have responded to the challenge, but they got that master man there trying to find open people.
Sting, and the 24-second clock slows down, and Bird and Embiid go at it.
6 for the Doc. And what do they call him? And Billy Cunningham's out in the court. Come on. Cunningham ran right out onto the court.
Is Dr. J trying to hold Bird. Bird retaliates, and as always, the officials see
and a fight between Jay and Bird has broken out on the court. And Casey Jones pulls Malone off the pack.
Stages of a blowout. Tempers are bound to flare, and they're coming up the court, and they're bumping, and Dr. J's
got him hooked there, yeah.
Got him hooked. Larry tries to get rid of him, gets knocked down. Pavetta sees it, and Larry gets a little angry.
Bird would not have been ejected if he hadn't thrown the ball at Embiid.
That's exactly right. And Bird is the consummate cool player, so he blew completely on that play. And look at
the scratches on his face.
All right, you guys, that was it for today's episode. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, click the notifications button, and definitely check out the sponsor of today's video. And I'll see you next time on the Basketball Time Machine.